Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a question I'm asked all the time, and that is, what do I do when working with investors? What checks do I need to do? How do I protect them? How do I protect myself? Well, it's a bit of a grey area on exactly what you need to do when working with a new investor. So stick around to the end because I'm going to share with you 8 steps I follow each and every time, which will give you peace of mind and it will give the investor peace of mind. So this is something not to miss up on if you are someone that's going to go on to work with investors. So stick around and let's get into it. So you're ready to start working with investors within your business. You might be sourcing property for an investor to buy, you might have a startup company, or you might be a middleman and you're structuring deals, whatever it might be, but you're at the stage where you're starting to work with investors. Now, a really important part is the middle work that happens. So before you actually go on to do transactions, there's a lot of uncertainty, and a question I'm asked all the time is, what do you do in between this period? What do you actually do to ensure that an investor is protected? And also the main point here before you ever get started with someone you're working with is you need to protect yourself. So I'm going to share with you 8 steps in which I do every single time in order to make sure I'm protected and I can sleep at night, and that the investor is protected as well, and that there's full clarity and understanding of the experience of this investor and also what they're actually going to be involved in. So I'm not going to go into huge details in each individual point. If you want to know more, by all means reach out to me on social media, but this is to give you an understanding of the things you should be doing every time you work with a new investor. So number 1, of course, is protection. You're protecting yourself so you can sleep at night, and also you're protecting the investor because they might not know the questions they actually need to ask themselves, because a lot of new investors, certainly retail investors, get very excited about opportunities, and sometimes they can jump in with both feet. They don't really think about it. So it's actually our job working with the investors within the business that you're in to actually slow them down before we get started. So the first thing is protection. So what do we need to do? We need to vet them, get an understanding, and we need to send them a questionnaire. So a questionnaire by email can be made up of any questions you personally want to ask them that you don't think has come up yet, or things that you might think you need to know before we get started. So it'll be things such as, do you understand capital is at risk when investing, that you can lose all capital? Have you invested before? What type of things have you invested? The money that you're considering investing, is this your life savings? Is this a pension? Is this your family money? And if you were to lose this money, what situation would this put you in personally? How long are you willing to invest for? All these kind of questions you need to ask, and really you should be getting positive answers on all of them. If you don't, and it's your job at this point, if you don't get positive answers and there's a lot of uncertainty and they didn't realise capital was at risk, no, they haven't invested before, and they're saying, yes, this is my life savings, but I'm happy to invest it because a friend of mine's done that. This is at the point where you pull the handbrake and you say, actually, this probably isn't for you. It's actually my duty to highlight this, and look, I don't think we're going to be able to work together because I only want to work with those that have invested before, however you put it. But at that point, that would be like a red flag. The second thing you want to do is disclaimers. So send over as many disclaimers as you want. The capital is at risk. There's always a chance that whatever you're investing in, it could go wrong. That's worst case scenario. What does the worst case scenario look like? Do they understand that? Do they accept full responsibility? Again, get them to confirm that all over email so there's a trace, and that is the second step. The third step is I would have a phone call. So after they've understood all of that, if they pass all of that and say, yeah, that's fine, yeah, I've invested, yes, I understand, I then look to organise a Zoom meeting. Obviously during COVID times, it'd be by a Zoom meeting typically. Or if you can, get on a face-to-face meeting, go get a coffee and get to understand them, actually meet them as a person. If you're going to be doing business, it's always good to look at the whites of the eyes, get to know them a little bit more and what they want to achieve. And at that stage, you actually want to understand what are their aims of investing and can you really help? Because let's say you're sourcing property, but yet they just want to grow a wealth pot. The two probably aren't going to match, so you don't really work. So again, that's at a stage where you need to say, look, it's been great to meet, perhaps we can work in the future, but right now, that's not what I'm involved in. It's not what you're after, and we go our separate ways. So again, this is all about getting clarity, understanding if you can work together. The fourth point is proof of funds. Okay, so you both understand what the roles are. They are looking for this, you're willing to do this for them, you're going to be working together, you're going to need proof of funds. So to actually ensure that they're not mucking you about, because this is where it's more on your side of protection, is that if you're going to start working, you're going to start looking for deals, or you're going to start putting offers in on projects that you're looking to take on and they're going to fund, you need to go there with some ammo. So you need to know that they're not just saying that they're going to be involved. Let's actually see the money in the bank. So ask for proof of funds and a letter of intent to invest, which again can be on an email. We don't have to get to legal paperwork at this stage. It can just be a simple email saying, yes, I'm happy to invest. Here's my proof of funds in a bank account. And then that letter just saying, backing it up, just in case an agent or perhaps a business that you're looking to get involved in, or you're putting an offer in, can say, have you got proof of funds? Is there a letter of intent to back up what you're saying that you're going to get started with this investment? Number 5 would be the investor type. So what are they? Are they a retail investor, self-certified high net worth? Are they a sophisticated investor? Are they an institution, a small family office? What are they? And within that, you're also going to want to do anti-money laundering checks. So you're going to want to make sure that the funds that they have at this stage as well, they are either, what category of investor are they? And can they pass the anti-money laundering checks, which you can get online. And if you search how to anti-money laundering checks, there are certain websites that you can use that automate it, and you can pay for it, and that will do it. Or you can simply do it yourself by way of just checking. You can actually get your bank to do it. Take the passport, utility bill, driving license, some way of proof of address, things like that. The next stage would be, number 6 would be an email overview confirmation that I would do. So what I would do is everything before up until point 6, I would put all into an email confirming what we've spoken about, the questionnaire, the types of investments, the projects they want to be involved in, what they're looking to achieve, how I can help them or how you can help them. Put it all into an email that they've passed AML checks, that they are a high net worth investor, that they've signed off on that. And you can put together, just on the high net worth or the category of investor that they are, you could create a DocuSign, or you can pay for them. Or if you know anyone who has sort of an investor category, put that into a DocuSign, get them to sign it off electronically. Send all of that in an email, get the okay, get them to confirm everything you've spoken about and that they understand everything up until this point. And then we would move on to number 7, which, depending on the types of projects or businesses that they're investing in, or startup companies, or the property that they're buying, you want to move into legal confirmation, legal paperwork. So have everything drawn up legally. It could cost you anywhere, depending on where you live in the country, anywhere from £100 to £300, depending on the complexity of the deal that you're doing, or the investment business that you're involved in. So it will range depending on where you are. But number 7 is have everything drawn up in a legal document. Get the investor to sign it off, you sign it off, and then we're kind of good to go. The final stage is number 8, and that is transfer of funds. So you're either transferring the funds, you're receiving them, or they're buying the property, they're buying into the business, whatever it might be, but this is at the point where the funds actually move. So that is the final stage. So just to recap, number 1 is protection. Number 2 will be disclaimers. Number 3 will be having that initial meeting, that phone call. Number 4 will be proof of funds, letter of intent. Number 5 will be what investor type are they, and AML checks. Number 6 is the email confirmation overview of everything you've spoken about. Number 7, tie it all up in legal paperwork. Number 8 is when you receive or transfer the funds, or it goes into the business project in discussion. So I hope that helps. This is something that comes up all the time and people aren't necessarily certain on and actually to what to do. So if you want to go into a little bit more detail on any of these 8 points, feel free to reach out to me on social media. You'll be able to jump onto my Instagram or drop me an email. And until next video, I hope you enjoyed this. Please hit the like button. It really helps, and it will help many other people that are perhaps working with investors. Do subscribe to the channels because I have some awesome content coming up. And until the next video, I will speak to all of you very soon.